She called 911 on me for kayaking on my own lake. Yeah. I was literally standing there, paddle in hand, life vest, strapped on, getting ready to push off for a morning paddle, when Debbie, the queen of pastels and petty power trips, stormed across the street yelling like I was stealing water from the public. You'd think I was trying to dam the place up and sell bottled lake water on the black market or something. What started as a peaceful morning turned into a full-blown HOA soap opera, with sirens, fake tears, and eventually memes. So, here's how it all unraveled. I'm Scott Turner, 35, a professional kayaking guide. I make outdoor videos for a living, so when I found this place a beautiful home right on Pine Lake with its own concrete launch ramp, it was like winning the lottery. The previous owner had dealt with a couple of kayak thefts, so he'd installed cameras all around the place. I kept them. Smartest decision I ever made, turns out. Now, the ramp is fully on my property. It's marked out clearly in the deed with 50 feet of shoreline to each side. It's mine, plain and simple. But apparently no one told Debbie Holbrook that. She's 38 lives across the street and thinks being on the HOA board gives her the right to micromanage everyone's life. I'd heard some rumors like how she got egg on her face accusing someone of breaking HOA rules when they hadn't, but I figured if I stayed quiet, kept to myself, I'd avoid the drama. Rookie mistake. One morning I'm loading my kayak onto my truck for a client trip, and here comes Debbie. Arm swinging binder clutched like it's the Constitution. She plants herself in front of my ramp like she's guarding a royal gate. "Excuse me," she sings in that syrupy voice that sounds fake even before she speaks. "We need to discuss your use of community water access." I blinked. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny, more like a reflex when something is so absurd you can't process it right away. I calmly told her the ramp's on my deed, and I pulled it out to show her right there from the glove compartment. Her face turned all kinds of shades from shocked to offended to somehow righteous. Then she does it, grabs her phone, and actually calls 911. "I'm reporting theft of public lake access," she says. Officer Jenna Hayes shows up, and from the look on her face when she sees Debbie, this ain't her first time dealing with this woman. Jenna confirms everything, it's private property. I'm in the clear and warns Debbie not to abuse 911 for civil disputes. You'd think that'd be the end of it, right? Nope. Debbie pulls out her phone and goes live on Facebook right there in my driveway, painting me as the selfish new guy hoarding lake access from the community. Neighbors start peeking out of their windows. A few even walk over and listen. I see them nodding. Debbie's turning the story upside down, and she's damn good at it. Next thing I know, there's an emergency HOA meeting called that night. I walk in, and it's like a courtroom. Debbie at the front with her binder, standing behind a folding table like it's a judge's bench, and everyone else sitting in rows watching me like I'm on trial. One of the neighbors, Carmen, known for live streaming, literally everything, has her phone out already. Debbie starts talking about community values and how we all need to share resources. She never once mentions that she called 911 on me for using my own ramp. Instead, she makes it sound like I'm trying to privatize the entire lake. I calmly present the deed. Again, explain the ramp is part of my property. But every time I try to speak, Debbie jumps in with, "But what about the spirit of the neighborhood? And some folks are eating it up." Until Maxwell Quinn, quiet guy, works in insurance, lives 3 doors down, stands up and goes, "If we're just going to ignore property rights when they're inconvenient, then what's next? Sharing people's driveways, their backyards." A few people laugh nervously, but I can see the tide start to shift. Not fast enough, though. Debbie wasn't done. That night, she plants a fake "no kayaking" sign on my ramp. Cheap plastic, no official seal, but positioned to look official. The nerve. I take it down, spray paint a giant red border around the ramp, mark it private launch zone, and post some signs of my own. Within an hour, Debbie's edited a video of me painting the ramp, calling it vandalism of public property, and posted online. But here's the thing. Those security cameras I kept, they caught her sneaking over in the dead of night to plant that fake sign, full HD time-stamped. I spliced together the footage, show her planting the sign, then my response. Post it to the same group Debbie used. And just like that, the narrative flips. Neighbors start apologizing. Even Carmen changes her tune, saying she jumped the gun supporting Debbie. But of course, Debbie can't take the loss. She goes live again, this time crying into a tissue box, saying I'm harassing her. Except Carmen, bless her nosy little heart, caught Debbie right after the stream cussing out her husband and practicing new lines for her next video, all caught on camera. That secret footage nuclear. Shows Debbie flipping between fake tears and villain mode like she's switching channels. The neighborhood erupts. People post memes, call her out, even start using phrases from my parody video, Debbie's Rulebook, where I mock her dramatic HOA antics step by step. Then, and I'm not kidding, Debbie trots out a fake witness. A woman claiming she saw me threaten Debbie at the ramp. She reads a script like a hostage video, glancing at Debbie the whole time. But Maxwell, again the MVP, recognizes her from a previous frame job where Debbie tried to accuse another neighbor of vandalism. Carmen confirms it's same fake witness, same tactic. At this point, it's not just me fighting back. Half the neighborhood starts digging through old posts connecting dots. Turns out Debbie's been trying to force multiple people out of their homes for years. She even emailed the guy who sold me this place, pressuring him to sell below market value for the good of the community. Manipulative doesn't even begin to cover it. So I printed flyers with all the receipts. Titled it, "I got 911 for kayaking on my property." Posted them on every mailbox. Neighbors who'd sided with Debbie started reaching out, sharing their own stories. Suddenly, my ramp wasn't just a launch point, it was a rallying point. Then came the last meeting. Packed room. Debbie sat alone in the back, no binder, no podium. The HOA board, after reviewing everything, footage, texts, fake witnesses, false 911 calls, voted unanimously to censure her. She was forced to read a public apology. Didn't admit anything, but the burn in her eyes said it all. I hosted a free kayak day right after everyone but Debbie was invited. Kids paddling, parents lounging, Maxwell filming the whole thing. That was the lake life I dreamed of. Peaceful, joyful, free. And as I looked across the water, there was Debbie alone watching from the public shore. She tried to claim as her kingdom. No one waving, no one filming. Just her and the sound of everything she tried to destroy coming back to life without her. So tell me, after all that, what do you think Debbie's plotting next from the shadows? Drop your guesses in the comments. I've got my cameras rolling.